What's up, y'all? I'm about to break down some of the goofy shit that these tethers and these Pan-Africans say and do on video. This video ain't gonna be too long, so let's just get into it.
OJ like, I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay.
Now, this troglodyte wasn't even intelligent enough to say anything. She couldn't come up with an argument if she tried. She tries to use an excerpt from a foundational Black American, mind you, that's talking about the struggle that Black Americans have went through in America. And he's actually talking about sellouts in that line. Foundational Black American. See how black is in it? You fucking goofy. That destroys her argument right there. And then the little words that she typed on the screen says, we're not Blackfoot or Cherokee. Two bloodlines that are literally in my family. Cherokee being on my mother's side, Blackfoot being on my daddy's side. So you want us to acknowledge the African in our blood from thousands of years ago and skip the tribal and indigenous blood that we have from hundreds of years ago. Make it make sense. Mind your business. Stay out of foundational Black American business and worry about your failed third world countries. Why are you so interested in what we do?
So I'ma say it, and I don't care who get mad. FBA. The reason why a lot of people like myself, what do y'all call us? Pan-African American or whatever it is. The reason that we don't agree with y'all and the reason that we're not becoming FBA.
Now you can tell the retardation is strong with this one. So I'll try to be gentle. Man, an Italian cannot not be an Italian. If your parents are connected to the slaves that come from this country, even if they are slaves that came from the African empires, which there weren't many, but they came, and they were mixed in with the Black indigenous, even if they came directly off the boat, because the majority of them went to Brazil. I'm sure you don't know that, because you don't seem to know much of anything. But that's neither here nor there. They are FBAs. So let's say you, my little unintelligent one, let's say you are a foundational Black American. It's not something that you can not be. A foundational Black American is the same as an African American, or just a Black person, or an American Black. They're all the same thing. The difference in calling yourself a foundational Black American is that you lock yourself in, and the people outside cannot come in, because when you say African American, anybody can be an African American. A person from any one of the 52 countries in Africa can come here and call themselves African American. This is why Barack Obama goes down in history as the first African American president, but he wasn't a FBA president. Can you tell the difference? I hope so. I tried to talk slow for you. Either way, it doesn't matter how you feel, because you can't not be an FBA if you were born to parents, or just one. Because you can have a Jamaican parent and a foundational Black American parent, and guess what you are? You're half FBA. So which means you're FBA. Period. Point blank. Done.
It's because y'all give the same energy as the oppressors did. No shade. Like, I don't know. It just give like colonizer energy. Like when I be reading some of y'all comments, it's like I'm reading no offense, but it feel like I'm reading a white Republican man's comment, and it be a whole FBA person. I be like, well, damn.
Oh, you one of those. See, we don't involve ourselves in American politics to the degree that you're saying. I can tell you're a Democrat. Understand, just because we support immigrants being kicked out of this country does not mean we're with the white supremacists. See, you're a Pan-African, which means you believe in the whole Wakanda ideology. I want you to make one of your little videos and tell me when being a Pan-African has benefited Black Americans. When have we ever had a coalition with Africans in a recent history? Don't go back to 1960s or something like that. Tell me now. Because if you search the internet, you'll find Somalians saying that they aren't Black. You'll find Kenyans and Nigerians calling us Akatas. They even had a slave auction block. So tell me, when has being a Pan-African helped us? Just because we're smart enough to not vote for a woman that was cosplaying as Black, and the only reason you goofy ass feminists wanted to vote Kamala Harris in office is because she was a woman, failing to see if that woman got in office, would we have these immigrants being deported? Because when they allow all of these immigrants to come in, what neighborhoods do they come in? They don't go into white people's neighborhoods. They come into Black people's neighborhoods, and they displace us. But that woman that you wanted to vote for, who's an Indian cosplaying as Black, said, no, I'm not gonna just give Black people anything. So just because we agree with what Trump is doing as far as deportation does not mean we agree with the white ringers. We don't agree with those racists. Foundational Black Americans are smart enough to know we don't fuck with either side because both sides are liars. But what I would rather have is a side that is an outright racist, like the right wingers. You are so stupid that you will befriend Democrats when they're fucking you over with no Vaseline, but because they give you symbolic victories, you will vote for them. That's not working over here. So you can take your Pan-African shit and shove it.
So the reason why y'all won't grow as big as I think that y'all could have grown is because of that reason and that reason only. Y'all give like oppressor energy. Y'all give like you want people to, y'all force people. It's not that y'all don't even educate people in the comments. It's like y'all just yell at people. So I don't think, that's why I don't think it'll be as big as it could have been. But I don't know. I'm not saying you wrong, because some of the stuff I'd be like, But me personally, with the type of person I am, I don't ever see myself becoming an FBA person, because I don't know. It's low key giving coat, y'all. It's giving coat. I'm sorry.
The woman said a bunch of nothing. Nothing. I had to fight to retain some brain cells, or the same amount of brain cells that I had before I watched the video. All my lives I had to fight. Jesus. She didn't say anything. All she did was talk. She moved her lips and spoke. She never once made a point. She tried to make a couple corny ass jokes. She tried to say that we give off white supremacist energy. How? If you listened to what FBA says, which is nothing but black people, the last thing she said, I can't see myself becoming FBA. You goofball. Either you're FBA or you're not. Either you're a black American or you're not. You know what you're giving? You're giving federal energy. That's what feds do. Because you're trying to make FBA sound like an organization. It's giving cult. You're giving stupid. You need to read some books. You need to try to figure out some other shit besides the feminist ideology that is clouding your little weave-wearing mind. That's what you need. Because it's clear what you believe in. The reason you don't want to be FBA, even though it seems like you might have foundational black American parents, is because you identify with Democrats. You identify with that ideology. You're a feminist. You probably have a few fruit cup friends. Understand. And I don't have nothing against the fruit cups. But notice, what side are they on when it comes to left or right? They're on the left. Because that's something else that that side did. They tried to make LGBT and the black struggle synonymous. That's the side that you're on. They tried to make feminism and civil rights synonymous. This is where these black feminists get their ideology, but they're not smart enough to even know that the creator of that ideology worked with the American government. Women like you are a waste of time, space, and atoms. And we're going to silence voices like you.
Now, when we look into this lady, she fits the description of what we call a tether. This is a tether, okay? Let me explain. The Honorable Yvette D. Clarke, hailing from the Central Brooklyn, Congresswoman Yvette Diane Clarke feels honored to represent the community that raised her. She is the proud daughter of Jamaican immigrants. She takes her passion for her Caribbean heritage to Congress, where she co-chairs the Congressional Caribbean Caucus and works to foster relationships between the United States and the Caribbean community.
Might have to drop a dime on them niggas.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta stop it.
I don't like that shit.
For sure, bro.
I don't like that shit.
All right, y'all, we back with another video. Y'all know how we do. Always pushing health, wealth, and a better understanding of self. So listen, in this video, I'm going to break y'all down the evidence and the proof that the Congressional Black Caucus has been scamming Black people since 1971.
They are not here to be our friends. They are not here to fight for all Black people. They are here to fight for Somalians.
He said it's important to know she's Somalian and she's in the government working for us. He's referring to the U.S. government and she's in our government. He said she'll take that chair from a Black person. That's what that Somalian official said to his people, speaking on Ilhan Omar, and she's sitting right there. They made it very clear what her purpose was in the U.S. government. Her job is to replace a Black person for a position of power in America and then use that power to work for Somalia. Forget she was elected and placed in the do-nothing Black Caucus. Look at her. Yeah, her and all the other useless traitors of Black America.
All of these people, I'm going to be canceling the whole Black Caucus, bro.
Sitting up there in the Black Caucus. Just look at them. She's a Black Caucus member, but they just told you her job was to replace Black people. That's what they're doing here. It's Black people in the Black Caucus and work for Somalia. And we keep wondering why Black Americans can't get any points on the board. We're constantly supporting a group of people that's supposed to be representing us. But when you dig into the Black Caucus, they're doing for everybody except for the people they're supposed to be representing in Congress.
This is embarrassing to us, bro. We watching this, it's embarrassing to know that y'all been sitting in these seats all of this time and y'all not doing nothing.
Now, according to those two geniuses, those Pan-Africans that I just showed you, oh, we need to be Pan-Africans. FBAs are the bad guys. How? Look at what this brother and this sister just showed you. I don't call them the Black Caucus. For years, I have called them the Black Carcass. Why? Because they're dead. They're a bunch of dead weight. They do nothing for Black Americans. They don't help us. All they do is help immigrants. This is why nothing but immigrants or sellout foundationals sit on their board. But they pretty much use those immigrants to get the dirt done, to be a bridge in between their home countries and this country. And the reason all of this happened is because these white racists did not want to pay Black Americans. They did not want Black Americans to come up. They've done everything in their power to keep Black Americans under their heel. And guess what? It has not worked. Why? We fight. We don't run away like tethers do to other countries. We stay here and fight.
I'm going to give y'all my proof and the claims why we are now canceling the Congressional Black Caucus, because they are more interested in giving foreign aid to other countries than they are in helping to build America. Now, there's been a lot of videos on the Congressional Black Caucus, and they say the same thing. They bring up when they didn't want to speak to President Nixon, and they don't bring up no factual, tangible things that these people did. I did my research on it. This group was put here as another ploy to use Black faces for white supremacy cases. It's just, this is what it is. And people are upset. I had somebody in my comment section because I canceled Jasmine Crockett. They want to think that, I don't know how they feel like these people in office ever did anything. If you look up any research at any of our black politicians, they have not been on the right side of history. And I'm saying that I'm being nice with it. Okay. We've had our intellectuals, our leaders like Dr. Claude Anderson, Malcolm X, Steve Coakley, our researchers, our historians. And they broke the whole system down to where this system is not built for us. And it's people that look like us that's not kinfolk. And we got to get them out the way. It's nothing personal. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to go over you the CBC scam that they're doing. And I'm going to break down to you the facts that I got to where my point is going to be proven. So these are the leaders. Check this out. These are the leaders of the Congressional Black Caucus, right? But you have one particular that's the chair. Okay. So she's pretty much the head leader. All right. Now, when we look into this lady, she fits the description of what we call a tether. This is a tether. Okay. Let me explain. The Honorable Yvette D. Clarke, hailing from the Central Brooklyn, Congresswoman Yvette Diane Clarke feels honored to represent the community that raised her. She is the proud daughter of Jamaican immigrants. She takes her passion for her Caribbean heritage to Congress, where she co-chairs the Congressional Caribbean Caucus and works to foster relationships between the United States and the Caribbean community. Clarke is a senior member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee. Clarke has been a member of the Congressional Black Caucus since the coming to Congress in 2007, and today she serves as its chair. So if y'all see that, you understand that they love getting people from other countries and coming here and putting them to speak for Black people. And with our delineation, this is a violation. We only want FBA people that's in seats. You guys tried to push this Kamala Harris on us. You guys are pushing the Barack Obamas. You're pushing a lot of people that are not born and bred in this country. And we don't want that representation anymore. Now, I'm going to go further in the CBC, right, about them. This whole thing started with Africa in mind. So that lets you know the start of it was a scam. Check this out. Since its establishment, and I'm going right off of their website, we already know what it is. You guys are just giving it away. Since its establishment in 1971, the Congressional Black Caucus has been committed to using the full constitutional power, statutory authority, and financial resources of the federal government to ensure that African Americans and other marginalized communities in the United States have the opportunity to achieve the American dream. This is cap. Okay, but when we go down here, that's what they say, right? But when we go down here, all right, I'm going to show you the history of Africa, okay? So now we know that it started in 1971. So shortly after, let me go there. So the CBC is often called the conscience of Congress for being the first to stand up and speak out about issues that Congress needs to examine or re-examine. This was the case with South Africa. And the issue that African and African-American activists and founding members of the CBC became involved in decades before Congress passed the Comprehensive Anti-Act of 1986. So it's a serious connection with Africa here. Listen to this. In 1959, Diggs became the first African-American chairman of the House Subcommittee on Africa. So as y'all see right here, they're doing nothing but making a connection between Africa and America and probably bringing in people so they don't have to put FBA in there to control the United States. I know people seeing this and they like, no, these black people are helping blacks. They're helping us. No, they're not. No, they're not. And I'm going to show you more proof. Okay. In 1985, Rep. William H. Gray, chairman of the House Committee on Budget and a member of the CBC, introduced a bill that prohibited loans and new investments in South Africa and enforced sanctions on imports and exports with the nation. In 1986, Rep. George Crockett, he may be related to Jasmine Crockett, who knows, another member of the CBC, introduced the resolution that called on South Africa to free Nelson Mandela and other political prisoners and to recognize the African National Congress as the political voice of South Africa's black majority. Both measures were unsuccessful. So do y'all see how they already are in tune with Africa? Nelson Mandela, it's kind of like they're using the they're using people here in America, and they could be Caribbean. They don't want to use a stand-up FBA guy. It seems like their goal is to help Africa, or I don't even think they even been helping Africa. I don't think no policy that they have help Africa. I think it's just a pool of people that they're using. But watch this. Barack Obama made it even worse. In 2008, then U.S. Senator Barack Obama was elected president of the United States, making him the first only African-American.
See, there it goes right there. The first African-American. Barack Obama is Kenyan. He's not African-American. Well, if you want to use the term African-American, but he's not foundational Black American, which means he has no reason to want to help us. In fact, he helped the LGBT community more than he helped Black Americans. And now you see why. But according to these Pan-Africanists, this is what they want. They want any Black person to be able to come into American politics and speak for us. They're even willing to have a woman cosplay as Black to let them speak for us. I don't think so.
The first and only member of the CBC and the first and only member of the minority Congressional Caucus to be elected to the nation's highest office. On the challenges of our times, on the threats of our times, members of the CBC have been leaders moving America forward, which is cap. Okay, so basically this Congressional Black Caucus is a cover-up for immigrants and bringing immigrants into the country. That's what it is, okay? It's nothing more, nothing less, and these are the people that is running this play. And it's been like that since the beginning, okay? Since it was these people here. They don't let me click on their page, but yeah, since it was in 1971, it still was a scam. So we got to expose and cancel stuff like this. Make sure y'all push this video, share this video, let everybody know that we're canceling the tethers that's in the Black Caucus. They don't represent us. They're not for us. And they're not putting any policies or any strategies that's going to help out the Black community. They're about helping Africa. But I want to know what y'all think about this in the comment section. I am going live tonight. We're going to go in on taking advantage of our culture and us as our people. But make sure y'all tap into that, man. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace and love.
That brother did an amazing job at breaking that down. Make sure you follow his page on YouTube. Also go follow Pink Book Lessons. 2 FBAs that are speaking the truth, that make points. They don't just talk a bunch of vague rhetoric like the 2 Pan-Africanists that I showed you in the beginning of this video. But I'm going to end it here, and we're going to talk about this more in the next video. And a lot of people have asked me in my comments, why do you wear a mask? Because my face is not important. The message is. Plus, you Pan-Africanists like to try to get people fired from their jobs. As you see in my other content, I work hard. You fucking clowns. I'll see you in the next one.